Hi, this is Sweet June coming at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. This video clip is from the Trey King show, another YouTuber on here by the name of Trey King. This is Kathleen Moore and Colin Knapp. Kathleen Moore is the black lady, young black lady on the left. Colin Knapp is the white male on the right. They found she came up missing. She came up missing, and they had a missing poster out for her. And come to find out, I guess apparently he was her. Colin was her boyfriend. She came up missing, and they filed a missing persons report on her. And come to find out, they found her buried in his backyard. She was buried. They found her buried in his backyard. He had killed her. So Kathleen Moore, and Colin was her boyfriend. As you can see, the young lady is African American. The man, Colin, is Caucasian. And I want to do these videos when these cases come up. I want to, because the divesters on here, the black female divesters here on YouTube, is where they seem to be promoting the agenda. They promote. Did a video talking about black on black hatred and this gender war between black men and black women, and the narrative. This is the narrative that both black male divesters, black manosphere, whatever they want to call themselves, and the black female divesters, their whole narrative is to tell the opposite race, the opposite gender, that they need to date outside, encourage interracial dating. Because the narrative is that all black women are horrible and terrible. All black men are horrible and terrible. So you need to divest and go to other races of people so you will get a better mate. That's the narrative. That's the narrative. I'm not going to mention any names. You know, divestors know who they are on here. Black female and black males on here on YouTube. That's what their whole narrative is. Their whole narrative is to try to convince everyone that all black women are just these terrible people, and they make horrible mates, horrible mothers. They're the worst people on the planet, and black men need to just go outside their race and date other races of women, because all the other races of women are better than black women. The black women, same thing. The black men are just these horrible, terrible people. All of them. They're horrible, terrible people. And they're the worst men on the planet. And to go ahead and go on and get yourself a white man or a man of another race so you will have a better mate. That is the narrative. So I did another video where the young lady, that case was horrific, where she let her white boyfriend beat her black son to death. And they decided to leave the other children in the home to fend for themselves while they go out and do God knows what. So I just want to, I'm not trying to start nothing, but I'm so tired of this black on black hatred. And I'm so tired of this narrative being put out there that if you go outside your race, you're going to automatically get a better mate. I'm just getting tired of that narrative being pushed, because as I've said in my other videos, people are not better because of their race. People are not better because of their race. People are not worse because of their race. People are not worse because of their race. You have to take the time to get to know who you dealing with. You got to take the time to get to know who you dealing with. It doesn't matter what race they are. It doesn't matter what race. And these kind of cases are popping up. And see, this is the thing that the black female divestors, I'm not going to say their names, but the black female divestors on here, see, this is what they won't talk about. This is what they won't talk about. You will never hear them talk about that on their channel. Why they're so busy bashing black men, saying that all black men are these horrible, terrible people, and they're the most terrible, horrible mates in the world. And somehow suggesting if you go outside your race, you're going to get a better man. So this is one thing is that they will never, ever talk about. They will never, ever talk about these cases. And I'm noticing that more of these cases are popping up. That more of these cases are popping up where black females are being abused by men of other races. Which proves my theory that I've always said. A person is not better because of their race. I think it's a dangerous way to think. It's a dangerous way to think that just because you go get someone outside your race, you're going to automatically get a better person. It's really, really a dangerous way of thinking because it gives you a false perception. It gives you a false perception that, and a lot of us black people, we've been programmed and conditioned. A lot of us have been programmed and conditioned. You know, a lot of, I talked about it in another video, a lot of deprogramming needs to take place with a lot of black people. It's not entirely all of our fault. It really isn't. I mean, it dates way back to slavery. It dates way back to slavery when our people have been, since the beginning of time, our people have been brainwashed and programmed. When they first brought our ancestors here from Africa, we were stripped of everything. We were stripped of our culture, our language, our names. We were stripped of everything. So that deprogramming process started way back in the slavery times. And so it's definitely not our fault. But it's just a situation to black people have to be conscious of it. I think each individual black person has to be conscious of that. And you have to be woke. You have to be woke and you have to be conscious enough to where if you have some of these programmed and conditioned tendencies, if you tend to think in those terms, you can turn it around. You could deprogram your mind, but you have to acknowledge the fact that you're programmed and conditioned first. And the perception is the opposite gender of another race is a better mate. Like black men think that white women are better mates because they're white women, or because they've had some bad experiences with black women. Same goes for the black women thinking that it's programming and conditioning. People are not better because of their race. They're not better. When you look at the history of black and white people in this country, how could you possibly think that? How could you possibly think that? Think about it. So it's being programmed and conditioned. Thinking I like I said in my other video, I get it that black women are frustrated, that there's issues on, and I've said this time and time again, there are issues on both sides. There are issues with black men, there are issues with black women. And out of frustration, black women, out of frustration, men might have some horrible, terrible experiences with black men. And, I guess it's easier to think that to think that, you know, well, if I go outside my race, maybe I'll have, but that's not necessarily true. And I think it's a dangerous way of thinking, because black women can set themselves up to be victimized by another race of man if they go on this false perception that the man is automatically better because of his race. So at the end of the day, this is terrible. This is horrible. He killed her and buried her body in the backyard, his backyard. This is terrible. And so that's the reason why I talk about these cases, because I just want to get the message out there to black female divestors. You got to be careful. It doesn't matter what race the man is. It doesn't matter what race he is. You need to take the time to get to know that guy. And there is bad people. There are horrible, terrible people in all races. This case proves it. This case proves it. And this is something that they will never, ever talk about. This is something that they will never talk about. The black female divestors, they won't talk about it. They're not gonna talk about this case. They're not. And I'm here to just spread the word that people are not better because of their race, and black females need to be careful, because when things happen to us in this country, when things happen to us black women, guess what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't make nationwide news. This situation here, I don't think it made nationwide news. That clip, he played a clip on here, was probably 9 times out of 10 from the local news. It made the local news, but it probably didn't hit national headlines. Because I get news alerts on my phone, and I don't recall seeing a news alert on my phone about this case. So when things happen to us, it's not going to make nationwide news. Like the Gabby Petito case, everybody know about that. That's because she was a white female. When things happen to us, it doesn't hit nationwide news. They don't care. So we got to be careful how we move out here as black women. We have to be really, really careful how we move. We come up missing, guess what? Ain't nobody going to come looking for us. We better hope and pray our family cares enough about us to look for us. We better hope and pray that our family loves us enough and cares enough about us to really, really get out there and press forward and try to look and hunt down for us. Because guess what? It's just going to be another black woman missing. There's over 65,000 black men, women, and children that are missing in this country. And guess what? Nobody cares. So as black women, we got to be careful how we move out here. We got to be careful how we move. It just come down to that. We got to be careful how we move. And we cannot afford to have the mentality that, oh, well, this race of men is better because all this race of men are better because, you know, they're white or whatever. You need to know, you need to be careful. Whoever it is that you're dealing with, you need to be careful, period. I don't care if he's green. I don't care what color he is. You need to be careful who you're dealing with, and you need to take the time to get to know if there's warning signs. Be on the lookout for warning signs. A lot of times there are warning signs and women overlook them. There are warning signs. This guy probably exhibited some warning signs, and her being young and everything, she probably overlooked it. And then once she realized the danger was there, it was too late. He said something about she contacted her friend and was complaining about him. By that time, it was too late. So a lot of times there are warning signs, and that goes for all women across the board. When you're dealing with these men, there are warning signs when they're abusive and they're violent. A lot of times there are warning signs, but women have the tendency to ignore them. And I just want to get that message across to the divestors. You got to be careful. It doesn't matter what race the man is. You need to be careful. All black men are not bad. All white men aren't bad. But there are bad people in those groups. It comes down to you being careful about how you move. Plain and simple. As black women, we got to be careful how we moving out here. I cannot express that more. Because guess what? When we come up missing, nobody's going to be checking for us. Okay, let me know in the comment section if you heard about this story. This is very sad. My prayers, my condolences go out to her family. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and share. Notification bell. And until the next video, peace and love. This is Sweet June.